And so what I wanted to also ask about was, what have you seen in the industry change in the, what's it been, 20 odd years you've been in the industry, that's changed either for the better or something that you think that could be done better?
Well, I'm the state representative for Muay Thai Australia. I've been doing that job now for roughly 4 years, I think.
Yep.
Obviously, a lot of the other states are leaps and bounds ahead of South Australia in a lot of aspects. I mean, we have some good things as well here in South Australia. To fight without the headgear on in South Australia, we have the MRI, which is something that the government enforced, so that all fighters without wearing no headgear must have an MRI.
Yeah, that's the Combat Sports Board.
Combat Sports Board here in South Australia. Tommy Hunter does a fantastic job in looking after that. Obviously, we follow for the Muay Thai side, for my show and the IFMA rules and the WMC rules. But I think the biggest thing that's changing in our industry, and we really need to change our perception, is the weight cutting issue at the moment in our sport is becoming more and more prevalent, obviously with the tragedy that happened, and it happens regularly in our sport, unfortunately, and it's sad. You know, everyone wants to win. Yeah. You know, everyone wants that little advantage. But I think, especially with our juniors, our junior development with Muay Thai in particular, we need to be very careful with our youth. The boxing, I think, Muay Thai, the Muay Thai side of it could learn a little bit from maybe the boxing and the way they run their sort of stuff. You know, I don't know if same day weigh-ins and all that sort of stuff will work in Muay Thai. I think people are still going to cut weight no matter what. But obviously, having a governing, like the government watching over organisations, obviously helps a little. Yeah. It cuts out that cowboy element. I think that's probably one of the biggest things that's going to probably hopefully change. Yeah. I mean, I'm as a trainer, and I used to get my guys to cut a lot of weight and everything now, and I've been doing a lot of research, and a lot of the long-term health effects from cutting massive amounts of weight is not good on your body.
Yeah.
So
I know a couple of fighters that have thyroid problems now, and a lot of other health issues from cutting weight so drastically. Yeah. Earlier in their career. So I think you see once people kind of get that bit of experience behind them, sometimes they'll even start going up in a weight category because
definitely, and I'm changing the way I look at that side of it as well. I just think the sport's got to change. It really does. Like, otherwise, we're just going to have more and more tragedies happen, and we just can't have that. Fighting is about. We're all passionate about our sport and we all love our sport, but then when we see things like that happen, it just makes us think, wow. And I don't know how I'd feel if that ever happened to one of my guys at the end of the day. Having to come back into the gym to train. I mean, accidents happen, tragedies happen all the time, but to be able to live with that is another thing. So
Yeah, right. So what about on the other side of things? How have you seen the level of the sport change over the years?
It's been massive. I think having the development style competitions where, like we have the junior championships for Muay Thai Australia. The boxing, they have development camps now here in South Australia where I can send my state champion to a development squad. He'd go away for the weekend, do work like that. I think that Muay Thai could probably do a similar sort of thing to what the boxing are doing. And I guess that's the good thing about being involved in both industries and not just purely being Muay Thai and purely being boxing, is that I get ideas from both, an overview of it all. And I think as a trainer, it really helps.
Valuable, for sure. Yeah. And I guess there's also other elements you can learn from it, even just the style of training too.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I mean, as a trainer, we all know you never stop learning.
That's it.
If you think you know it all, well, come on. We never know everything.
And that's one thing I love about what I'm doing and going to all the different gyms and talking to the different trainers and seeing how people train. It's just awesome to see the difference the way people do things and the other elements they can bring in from other martial arts as well, because I've not seen different sorts of training like that before, and it's been really good, really eye-opening.
And I mean, I love the fact that it's like, obviously my gym are my family, like we're all a standard family, but having said that, the people that I've met in the industry over the last probably, more so from when I started promoting, I started building a bond with other gyms and other trainers around the whole of Australia. Those guys, when you catch up with them, your hugs and your brothers, and it's a real camaraderie. Like, people don't see that side of combat sports. They don't see the brotherhood or the girlhood or
sisterhood.
Sisterhood, and that's what it's about. It's about living life, and
that's cool.
And it's fantastic. I've got people I bring up. If I've got a guy going to Western Australia to fight, I can ring up somebody and say, can you help this guy? I can't come. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know I've got contacts all over Australia that are willing to step up and do that.
Awesome.
In both boxing and the Muay Thai.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
So
cool. That's nice. So what about with your training in Thailand? Do you take you guys over with you?
Yeah, we took a small group over last trip.
Yep.
Next year we're planning a lot bigger one.
Yeah, nice.
We're looking at taking hopefully about 10, 15 people next year.
Yeah, cool.
Mostly to the WMC, the Lamai camp. Yep. Know Ralph really well, and he seems to look after us.
Oh, good.
But I've got obviously Hayden Lyon, who's still over at Sitman Chai.
He's back over in Thailand.
He's back over in Thailand full time now. He's training there, fighting there. And then obviously, I still keep in contact with a lot of my former guys as well.
Yeah.
David Pinapiti is another boy. He's regularly in Thailand as well.
Yep. He's over there at the moment, isn't he?
He's just got back, I think.
Right.
Yeah. So
I actually thought David was originally from here.
He is. He is originally he's originally from Wollongong, and then he moved here for a couple of years. When
I interviewed him, I said, you're originally from Whyalla, aren't you? And he was like, no.
No. He's from Wollongong first off, and then he moved here for 4 years, and then that's when he became a fighter.
Yeah.
Cool. And our actual last hurrah was the junior championships.
Yeah, that's
a fair few years back, and that was our last competition to go away together.
Yeah.
And then obviously I set him up with Danny Jones, who's done a fantastic job looking after him and developing him as now a professional fighter who's very highly ranked. And I mean, I look at the opportunity that I gave him by taking him away and him just realising that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I'm so glad that I gave him that opportunity to be able to do that. And I'll do that for any of my guys.
Yeah, nice.
Any of my guys. Yeah. And I always said to him, you ever fight for an Australian title or a world title? I'll be there, David. If your trainer lets me. And I rang Danny when he got the opportunity to fight for the WMC Australian title. And I went to Western Australia. Yep. And, he won that. And it was brilliant to be a part of that with Danny and David.
It's awesome to have that relationship still.
It is. That's what I mean. It's lifelong relationships.
For sure.
Not just come and go.
Yeah, that's it.
Never
talk to them again, and that's it.
I had him come this year and help me out with my guys for shins.
Oh, yeah, cool.
I flew him over. I had Elias come over and do some officiating.
Oh, nice.
Put on a training seminar for the trainers and coaches.
Yeah, right.
Because South Australia lacks a little bit with regards to training.
Like talking about rules, or
yeah, explaining what scores and what doesn't score. Yeah. I brought that out of my own expense. To me, to develop our sport and to make it better, we need to do things like that. So I brought Elias over. He worked at the show. Then he took my judges that were on the show as well. Did a couple hours with them guys. And it just lifts the level.
Yeah, and everyone's on the same.
The whole level lifts big time. So I'm going to do the same thing next year. I think as I keep on doing, I'm just going to keep building on and building on and building on. Need to get more officials, but we really lack having.
We do for sure.
Officials
and referees and.
It's hard. It's hard. It's not. You're not paid big money to do it.
It's also, I think it's a hard job too. At all, I don't think I could ever.
Judging,
especially a judge, I'm too biased.
Sometimes I think.
One side.
Funny you say that, because sometimes I think a coach needs to sit in a judge's seat.
Yeah.
And see what a judge sees for a fight to realise how hard judging really is. Because I never realised, I've been doing it now for 6 years, and it's hard.
It depends on which side of the ring you're sitting on too, doesn't it?
Oh, everything. The ref gets in your way.
Yeah.
partially blocks your vision, you know, things that look like they've hit, they haven't hit at all.
Yeah.
Like people go, you know, oh, I know, you didn't hit him, you didn't touch me, didn't touch him. So it's hard.
Yeah, that's for sure. Can you also tell me, when is your next Shins of Steel?
All right, so we're booked on the 17th of March next year.
Cool. Yeah, awesome.
So we're actually looking, South Australia's getting a few more promoters coming on board.
Oh, that's good.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
We're hoping that they're going to come on board with the Muay Thai Australia.
Yep.
Because I'm the only show at the moment that does Muay Thai Australia shows. Obviously, I'm going to try and promote that more than other sanctioning bodies.
But that'd be good because at least it gives the opportunity to the fighters to be able to fight more regularly rather than kind of waiting for your show.
Well, sometimes we're waiting 2 months, 3 months. You know, I think South Australia needs shows at least every 4 weeks. To keep the flow happening. I mean, Queensland, Western Australia, it's every second week, you know. But they've got the population.
Sometimes though,
South Australia lacks population. We don't have that massive number of gyms and people.
That's it, yeah.
So we have to be realistic about it. Obviously, I fly people in for my show. Sometimes they're professional fighters, sometimes they're amateurs. It's really funny when you fly like amateur guys in and they're like, the look on their faces, you know, they're so pumped to get free flights, free food, you know, to get looked after, and it's a pleasure to do it, you know,
and
you
nice
build those
when you're
bonds.
an amateur and you do get that opportunity because you feel like, well, this is what I can actually do when I become a professional.
For sure. And promoters, to me, you look after people in the industry, and they will always look after you.
That's it, yeah. And I think that's what our industry really is core to it, you know, because everyone does look after each other, and which is great. And everyone wants to help each other, so well, those that do anyway. And you see those people thriving. And those,
had that concept of, you know, you look after me, I'll look after you. Gyms come and go sometimes, you know, and trainers come and go, but you know, you try to build that core group of gyms. That's nice. And people, and like I've got people that have been coming to Shins of Steel, haven't missed a show for like 10 years. Oh, wow. Do you know what I mean? Like lifers basically. I mean, it's a huge thing, you know. Like, and I obviously try and keep my prices down for my show, with it being in a regional area. People have to travel. So I mean, I charge $45 for an adult. I mean, a lot of shows are charging $60, $70 to come in for a general admission, and my people actually get a seat to sit in. Not stand up at the back, stand at the back of the room or whatever. So that's good. You know, it's good. And I try and promote as well that I also have a dry zone. So for families to be able to come in, because I run my own liquor. I have half the venue as alcohol and the other half as dry zone.
That's good.
So, and I get lots of families. I get like, and I keep the kids' prices down. And that's how I think why I get so many juniors here as well.
Because they can experience it at the show.
Exactly. They might never fight, but they can still come in here, improve their confidence and their fitness.
That's cool. Yeah, awesome. Very cool. All right. Well, is there anything else that you? Your classes, I just realised you're meant to be taking his
It's all good. It's all good.
They just do their own thing.
That's the good thing. I've got a couple of people that just will, as soon as I've got something, if something happens in class, or I've got people that will step up
with an interview.
People will step up
really
and do some extra work.
Because I didn't even see them at the corner of my eye, even just standing around doing nothing. They already knew what to do. And that's
to me, the gym is busy. It's not here. You're here to socialise, but you're not here to, how do I say, stand around, twiddle your thumbs.
That's it.
I hate having people's phones out. That's one thing I do hate in the gym. That's probably one thing I'd love to change actually in gyms. Sometimes the kids come in and they're on their phones all the time. It's like, come on, man, get a skipping rope. Start doing some work. You're here to work, not be on your phone. But it's all good. It's all good. So.
I'll get there.
Yeah,
cool.
No,
awesome.
Sweet.
Right, well, thank you so much for having a chat with me.
Thank you so much for thinking of me at last minute. And like I said, you do a great job, Melina. It's really good. It's really good to have somebody who's passionate about Muay Thai and getting fighters and the sport out there as well. You're doing a great job, mate.
Thank you. Awesome.
Well done.
I love what you're doing here too. So yeah, it was really good to have a look around, and I've done a little tour of the gym as well. So I'll put that up at the end of the video.
Yeah. And another quick one.
Yes.
thank you, Chrissy, for all your hard work as well in my gym. All right, I appreciate, or our gym, I appreciate everything you do, baby. You do a great job.
We'll get a little photo of her. She's wearing a cute little outfit at the moment for Christmas. So.
Hey, Chrissy, come here.
Hang on, we'll get her on camera.
Come here.
This is what
Come here.
At Warlocks, what they have to wear behind reception all the time.
All behind the reception. So we got our street party this afternoon, so it's going to be fantastic. So come in. We got our street party this afternoon.
Yeah, that's cool.
Half-hour demonstration. I've got to wear a Christmas hat and all that sort of stuff. So
I wish I was sticking around. I could see that.
Yeah, righto.
I would like you in the full Santa outfit, kicking pads.
But thank you so much,
cool.
Melinda.
Thank you very much for having me. Good
Sweet
to chat to
as.
you guys. Yeah.